So, look what's rolling in today, guys. I believe it's a 56 Plymouth Surburban. I know it's a Plymouth Surburban. I believe it's a 56. So, it's been lowered, got some cool wheels on it, some sort of period correct wheels. The only problem is, it doesn't go. So, that's where we come in. So, we'll get it unloaded, get it in the shop, and see if we can't get some life back into the old girl. Okay, so we got it pushed inside. Let's have a little look around in here first before we dig into the engine. Yeah, just such a cool old car. It's got great upholstery. You know, someone's redone the seats, and I really like the look they've done here. It's got this giant. The first thing I noticed was this giant brake pedal down here. It's all of 10 inches wide, so you're not going to miss that, which I guess is a good thing. Got the push button auto here. Now this is the the early 2-speed transmission that they had. It has no park, so you have to use the e-brake every time. She'll just roll away. The other cool thing I saw on this thing is the headlining. Come in here and look at all this. It's like a plastic of some kind, and it heads, extends all the way down the back, and it's just really quite unique. I've seen a few old American cars in my time, but I've not seen anything like that. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, let's get out. It's got a little vent windows in the back doors. We can get them open. Yeah, it's just that stuff you don't see all that often. But yeah, so passengers can get that open. Your back seat passengers, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. The roof rack, yeah, who knows about that? That's just timber. So, but it's in keeping with the car. It doesn't look out of place. It's really quite unique. So let's have a quick look at the tailgate. Okay, so here we are in the back. This is a little stubborn to come open. Here we go. That comes up like that. We got a couple of levers in here. And this whole girl's in really great shape. This tailgate is like perfect. And if you ever mess with any station wagons, the tailgates are one of the first things to rust away. But this is great. It's all original. It's really cool. They've got little pockets in here for this big linkage setup. They improved on this stuff as the years went by. You get into the 70s and 80s, and the tailgates operate a lot slicker. But man, this is just as it was out of the factory. Take a look up in there, Steve. Look at that headlining again. It's really unique. I love this old car. When I first heard about it, it's like 56 Plymouth. They're not that inspiring, but this car is really cool. I love it. Anyway, what it's actually in for is not to look at it, it's actually to work on it. So we're going to try and figure out why this old girl won't start. Let's go. Right, well, this was a surprise. I opened the hood and I was honestly expecting it to be a flathead 6, which a lot of these had. But it's got the Poly Mopar V8. I'm guessing it's probably the 273. Not 100% sure on that. But yeah, so that's a nice little bonus. Now, looking at it, the customer, the lady, thought she'd run out of gas, but it turns out she hadn't run out of gas. What had happened was it had burnt out the ballast resistor. So we've just we've replaced that already. Now, they've got a Ford style starter solenoid on it by the look of it, which has the output to give a full 12 volts to the ignition. So we've added this wire in here, so on crank it gets a full 12 volts instead of the 9 volts from the regular ignition feed that gets cut back. And once it starts, that turns off and it just reverts back to the 9-volt system, which the points and condenser like a lot more than 12 volts. They'll live a lot longer. So we got that all, that wasn't terribly hard to figure out. So we got that done. Let's see if she's going to fire up. Like in theory, it should. Spark goes a long way to making them run. A little louder than I expected. I think we got a little bit of an exhaust leak in there, so we'll have to figure out what we're going to do with that. But right now, it's time for a test drive. Surfboards on the top and an ocean. Pretty cool. Seems to be running pretty well. Interesting dash. We've got the factory radio delete. This car's very original, like unmessed with. You got heater controls over here. Bit of a stretch for the driver, but something different. Oh, we got some extra gauges. Someone's put it here. That's a nice touch because you don't have to look at ugly aftermarket gauges in an old classic like this. But that's a cool idea. Good day. Great day for a cruise. Memorial weekend coming up. Speedo's not working, but it doesn't really matter how fast we're going, does it? Disappears on a trailing throttle. It's not new anymore, so all in all, I think it's a pretty cool car. Brakes aren't bad. Got to push a little bit, but hey. Two-speed slush box, the thing actually performs quite, I mean it's not fast, but it's quite adequate, it's not a slug. It just trucks along pretty well. Well, this thing's ready to go back to its owner, back to Tracy. If you're watching Tracy, come and get it. She's good to go. And anyway, guys, you have a great Memorial weekend. We're going to go back and park this up, do a few more hours on Casper and go home. So, bit of a lean there. Alright guys, you have a great weekend and we'll see you on the next one, huh?